Hi, my name is Alessandro Cangelosi, and this is a new tip tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. In this little tutorial, we'll start talking about the animation in 3ds Max and how to work with the curve editor to change the stuffs and to control the keys for the animated mesh. Okay, let's start with a very simple animation. So I click on the viewport and I remove the grid using the G key for every single viewport, but I use the grid and the perspective. Okay, let's create, for example, a box, and this will be our base plane where we work with the animation. And I create a sphere like this one, and we are ready to start animating this mesh. And to check the animation, I like to use a material, and to see the animation I can use a checker map in the diffuse channel, and I can add an UVW mapping, and we use the spherical one, and we say that we'd like to have maybe 2 and 2 tiling for the map, just to see the mesh and for example the rotation. Okay, in 3ds Max we have two best way to animate the mesh, and we can use the auto key or the set key mode. If we use the auto key, that is the oldest method to animate objects and all the other parameters, we can stay at the 0, the first frame, and I click on the auto key, and then I can move, for example, the mesh. Sorry, we have to move at the last frame, for example, and I move the mesh, and you can see that now we have a key there, and we can also move the key, for example, and we have the animation in between these two base key. Okay, I can select the key, and with the delete key on the keyboard, I can remove it, so I have no animation. You can see that now we are in the auto key mode, and the button is red, and the viewport is red, and everything I do now will be animation. So you have to be careful with this key, because you can animate everything, the parameters from the objects or something like that. So let's see another way to animate the same stuff. And you can select the mesh, you can go in the set key mode, and you can create a key there, and you can move the mesh, and you can see that there's no animation because we have to set the key before the animation will be created. So I go to the last frame, I move the mesh, and I set the key, and now we have the same animation we set before using the auto key way. Okay, as I said you before, we can move the key. So for example, move the key from the 100 frames to something near the 50 frames, and you can see that now the animation is shorter. Okay, let's move again the frame, and this is a very basic way to work with animation and the keys. And you can see that the animation will start slow and will arrive in a slow way to the end key. That's why we have to check the key parameters and the curve editor stuffs. But let's check the rotation, and I like that we can use the auto key. I like that the sphere will rotate. Maybe in a future tutorial we'll see how to make it automatic using some script or maybe some other controller. So when you move the mesh, it will be rotated in animation in the same way. But you can see that it's not bad. Maybe we have to rotate it more. Let's try like that. Maybe a little more. And let's see it again. And it seems not bad, as you can see. It seems not bad. Okay, let's save the project. Okay, let's save the project inside the right directory and on CGCookie, fourth tip. Okay, and we have 3ds Max tip base animation. Okay. Okay, now we can move inside the curve editor, and we can use the graph editor, track view, curve editor to open it. Or maybe the best way is to use this button, and you can see that now we have the curve editor down the viewport, and it's very useful. So let's use the filters to see less things inside the curve editor. And we say selected objects, animated tracks. Okay, and for example, you can see that now we have only our mesh, the sphere, and we have the properties that we animated, and we have the graph. Actually, we have controllers that can control the single axis for position and rotation, and in a future tutorial we will talk about the controllers and how to change it. And you can see that in the curve editor we have 3 curves for the 3 axes, and we have 3 colors: red for the x-axis and green for the y-axis, and we have blue for the z-axis. Okay, in the curve editor you see that we can move inside to control the animation, and we see perfectly the slowdown of the animation because the curve have this easy in and easy out at the key. So we can change it manually because we can select the key and we can move it, and for example you can see that now it will arrive, you can see very fast. So now we have problems with the rotation, but that's not a problem. But we can use also another way, very fast way, and we can select the key and we can select this tangent button that sets the tangents of the keys to linear. So we have no variation in the speed, and we can select now the Y rotation and we can make the same thing there, and you can see that now the animation is perfect. So we have no slowdown, the speed is always the same, and we have a right rotation and a right movement over the axis. Okay, so that's a very fast way to work on the curve editor, and for sure you can change the animation using the movement of this key. So for example, if I change the position of the rotation, you can see that we have less rotation, and I can do undo. And or for example you can change it the value directly there, and you can see that we have the number of the frames, so I can move it, and now we have more rotation and then no rotation. Or you can change directly the the value. So we have minus 360 and we can try 800. You can see that the graph is changed, and we can use the zoom on the y-axis to see all the graph. And now we have more rotation and less movement, so that's not right. So we can set again the old value, so minus 360, and you can see that it works perfectly. Okay, that's the base of the curve editor, a very fast way to create key and to animate it. And in the curve editor we have a lot of stuff. For example, we can also create key. So for example, we can create key there, and we can use this button, the add key, and click there and click there. And now we try to use the same value. So there we have 6494, and I use the Ctrl C, I select the other one, and I make the same value. I have a problem. Okay, sorry. 69 494. Okay, and we can make this one linear, and we have so movement, no movement, and then movement again. And we have to make the same stuffs on the Y rotation. So I click on add key, and then we can also see the X rotation and the Y, the X position and the Y rotation using the Control key or the keyboard. So you can select the first one, then press the Control key and select the second one. So we can see all the graph in the same moment. So I can create the other one. I go in I select this one, and it's minus 104.4, minus 104.4, minus 104, okay, and 4. That's the problem with the value, but we have no problem. We can use the linear tangents. So we have rotation and movement, then the sphere will stop, and we have again the movement. And if we'd like to change and have a slowdown, we can select this one, and we can say that the output will be slower, and we select this one, and we have it stops. Sorry, we have to change it and use this one to be slower. Okay, so we are there, we are stopped, and then we start to move again in a very fast way. But we can choose to arrive there in a slow way. Okay, so we are stop, start moving slower, and arrive slower. So we have to do the same thing there. So I have to change there using a slow down, and there we have to arrive in a slow down way. So we have stop, and slowly we go again to the last frame. And we can do the same stuff there. So I select this one, and I say that we enter in a slow way, and I select this one, and I say that we enter in a slow way. So we have the fast movement, slow down, stop, and then we start again. Okay, let's check it. It moves, stops, and starts slowly and goes slow. Okay, I can save again the scene, and for this tip tutorial, it's everything. It was very fast watching inside the curve editor and the basic stuff for the animation in 3ds Max. And I hope to see you on the next tutorial on cgcookie.com. And for the moment, that's all. And I have to say thank you for all. Bye.